Assalamualaikum students, this video is regarding November 2023 exam series, paper 2-1, question 2 part B. It's a 12 marks question. Assess whether price elasticity of demand or income elasticity of demand is likely to be of greater importance to a firm producing cars. So as you are aware that there are 8 knowledge, understanding and analysis marks, whereas there are 4 marks for evaluation. And there are 3 aspects to this question. One is the usefulness of price elasticity of demand. We will get 4 marks for this. And there is income elasticity of demand. We will get another 4 marks for this. And which one is of greater importance, that is evaluation, and there are 4 marks for this. The comparison between the two measurements. So first we talk about the usefulness of price elasticity of demand for a car manufacturer and how important this measurement is. And then we'll discuss income elasticity of demand usefulness, and then we'll do the comparison. So first, usefulness or the importance of PED. Since there are knowledge marks as well, so it shouldn't be a problem if we begin this question with this essay with the help of a definition of PED and a formula of PED. So PED measures the degree of responsiveness of QD to a change in the price of a product. PED, and we can give the formula as well, percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. So that's how we can get a mark or 2 for the knowledge understanding. Now what is the usefulness of PED for a car manufacturer? The knowledge of PED may help a car manufacturer to set the price in a way that revenues rise. So one of the benefits of and one of the usefulness and one of the importance of the measurement of PED for a car producer, that it helps them set the correct price for the product which gives the firm greatest amount of revenues. A high price should be set if estimated PED for cars is low. This will help raise revenues. As revenues gained by high prices would outweigh the decrease in revenues due to lesser quantity sold. Now, this is what we are saying. A high price can be set. If the car manufacturer estimates that the PED for the cars their manufacturing is low, they can charge a high price for that. Now, when they charge a high price, the quantity will fall. So on one hand, they'll be gaining as they will be able to charge a high price. On the other hand, they'll be losing as they'll be selling fewer cars. But which change will be bigger? The increase in price will be proportionately bigger than the fall in quantity. That's why the gain in revenue because of high price will be more than the decrease in revenue because of lower quantity. So let me give this additional information. You may not need to write this in the diagram, but just for your explanation, and I may erase it after I explain. So if they raise the price and PED is low, just look at this arrow is bigger, whereas the decrease in quantity would be a smaller amount. Now, since the percentage increase in price is bigger, the impact on revenue would be that revenues would go up, because lower quantity will mean less revenue, but high price would mean more revenue, and higher revenue will rise faster because of the price than the decrease in revenue because of the lower quantity. So that's how revenues would go up. Now, you do not need to give this in the essay, so I am just erasing it. On the other hand, a lower price could be set for cars with high PED. So we do not need to explain it any further, as we have already given the explanation that why would revenue go up if high price is charged for goods with low PED. So we don't need to repeat ourselves. However, we can only write this will help car manufacturer, car producer raise revenues. Knowledge of PED may also help car producers to decide about the production level. For cars with high PED, a low price should be charged, and the emphasis should be on selling more units. Now, what is the game? The game is there is a car which has high price elastic demand. Lower the price, attract the masses, attract a large number of customers, and sell your cars in a greater volume. So sell greater volume, produce in bulk, and charge a lower unit price. It will give you more revenues. On the other hand, if PED is low, quantity can be restricted to allow the firm to raise price. So, three benefits at least, three usefulness of PED we have given. It helps the car manufacturer set the right price. Number two, it helps the car manufacturer predict revenues. Third, it helps the car manufacturer decide on the production level. However, our analysis cannot be complete unless we talk about at least one of the limitations of PED. However, PED may not be accurate and may also not be relevant for decisions in a fast changing market. Now, if the car manufacturer is operating in a market where things are changing rapidly, competition is arriving, new cars are being introduced, new models and new variants have been introduced, technology is changing, people are moving from fossil fuel based cars to electric vehicles, and there is more people who are becoming more and more aware of the environment pressures the gases cars emit. So there are changes. In that case, the PED figure may not be that relevant in your decision making. So after we have given a limitation and explained a couple of benefits of PED to the car manufacturer, our analysis of one side is complete. This is good for 4 marks. As I've been repeatedly telling you guys, do not give headings in your essay, but the headings I'm giving here only are for your better understanding the usefulness, importance of PED. That is the heading I've given. After this, we now move on and we now discuss the usefulness of income elasticity demand. Usefulness of income elasticity demand. So like we started discussing price elastic demand, and we first give a formula and the definition of price elastic demand. I am going to give a definition and formula for this as well. So income elastic demand, percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. Many candidates often confuse these two formulas, and since they have more practice of writing price elasticity of demand formula, so even writing income elastic demand formula, they may they make a mistake, and instead of writing income here, they write price and they lose their marks unnecessarily. Kindly focus on your paper, be very careful. You know the formula, only thing is to put it right. So there is exam pressure, we understand, and to overcome that exam pressure, please do practice your formulas and definitions and diagrams. So I'm not giving the definition, I'm orally explaining it. Income elastic demand measures the degree of responsiveness of demand to a change in consumer's income. So you may give that definition as well. Now, what will be the usefulness? What will be the usefulness of income elastic demand? So income elastic demand helps car producers identify that whether their cars are normal goods or inferior. A positive MED means cars are normal and demand of such cars is likely to rise when incomes grow. On the other hand, cars with negative income elastic demand are inferior and their demand is likely to fall when incomes rise. So what is the usefulness for the producer when they find out that their product is a normal good, or they find out that the product is not a normal good, it's an inferior good? What is the benefit they can get? The benefit they can get, this knowledge helps producers decide on their production. They should produce more luxurious cars with better features if incomes are rising. On the other hand, they may focus on producing basic variants, basic and more economical variants during a period when incomes fall. Now, what we are trying to tell you here? We are trying to tell you here that there are two types of cars. One, luxurious cars with better features, and they are usually normal goods. Whereas cars which have basic features and more economical models, they are usually inferior goods. So if incomes are rising, if market is booming, if people are getting jobs and they're getting high incomes, make those cars which are more quality type cars, which have greater features, which have more comfortable seating, more fuel efficient cars, more luxury cars. That those cars will be in high demand when incomes are growing. And those basic models with basic features, economical cars, small size cars, they will have greater demand when incomes are falling. So the knowledge of MED and the knowledge of the economic trends in the economy, that will help the car manufacturer to decide on their production type. Now in Pakistan, at the moment, there is a recession, there is a falling income. So there will be more demand for cars which are economical, which are smaller variants, so something like that. Now, after giving this usefulness, we need to give a limitation. However, income last demand may not be calculated accurately, as the data used may be incorrect. There is a possibility that the data used for the calculation of income last demand, that may not be correct. So after the limitation, we now move on to the last section, and that is evaluation. Evaluation will give us 4 marks, the comparison between the two. So one of the comparison, and I have been telling you again and again, when you do the comparison, when you do the evaluation, use words better, more effective, less effective, worse, something like that, which gives the examiner an indication that you're trying to compare the two concepts given the question. Now in this question, the two concepts are PED and MED. So now do the comparison. So the calculation of PED is easier for a car producer than the calculation of MED. Now, you have the data. What is the price? What was the price a week ago? What was the price a month ago? What was the price a year ago? And what was the demand? And what is the price now? And what is the demand now? So on the basis of this data, you can calculate PED of your cars. But income last demand, income of consumers, it is not known to you. It's a macro concept, the income of the consumers. So an ordinary car manufacturer may not have access to the data of consumers' income. So for them, calculation of MED may be little more tricky and more challenging. So we have done one comparison that PED is more important since it is easier to calculate. PED is also more useful in the short run, as changing price is possible. Changing price is possible. Changing price instantly is possible. Whereas MED is more useful in the long run, as changing the type of production requires time. Now, let's assume that I find out that PED is a high of my product. I need to lower the price. Okay, a board meeting takes place, the directors discuss the idea, and if they agree, they lower the price, and next day the decrease in price is communicated to all distributors. Income last demand is more challenging and it takes more time. For example, we decide and find out that the income of people is falling and there will be greater demand for basic variants of the vehicles. Now, our factory is designed in a manner and is meant to make a certain type of cars. We need to redesign now. We need to remove some features. We need to add some basic features. We need to train our staff for that. All of this is going to take time. So the knowledge of PED can help me instantly, but knowledge of MED can help me, but only in the long run. So in the short run, it is more useful to have the knowledge of PED. So that's a comparison. So this is valuation. And now we move to the conclusion, and we give the conclusion that PED and MED are useful. However, other factors such as changes in competition, consumers' tastes and preferences, and government policies regarding import, export, and regarding other things must be considered while preparing an effective marketing strategy. Apologies for my poor handwriting. I try to write fast so that less time is taken, but I want to write myself. I don't want to have pre-typed answer for paper 2 at least. For paper 4, we'll be having pre-typed answers. But for paper 2, I want to write in front of you so that you know how to write a good essay. So that's the conclusion. What we are saying here, that is not just the PED and MED. We need to look at other political, social factors. Now, there's rapid change in the way people are thinking about their cars, about owning a car. There is problem of environment, climate change, negative externalities, and road congestion, and fuel is becoming more and more expensive. So there are rapid changes in the tastes and preferences of consumers. That needs to be looked at as well. And government policies regarding import-export. Government may impose a ban on the import of necessary raw materials. Our government may force you to sell a certain part of your cars outside the country. Pakistani government is actually thinking about asking the local car manufacturer to export a certain percentage of their vehicles to avoid a heavy super tax. So something like that can happen, and that can actually have a huge impact the way businesses operate in Pakistan, the car producers operate in Pakistan. So these factors need to be looked at as well, in addition to MED and PED. I hope you like our video. Please do subscribe to our channel and do recommend our videos to all those who may be interested in knowing about how to write a good economics essay for A-level.